John Wycliffe, this wonderful reformer, he had issues with the Catholic Church, questioning their practices, advocating for the translation of the Bible. But most importantly, John Wycliffe came with a very dangerous doctrine called justification through faith. Simple, justification through faith. And the church rose against him, persecuted him to the time of death. And as some of you who have read history, in a symbolic act of posthumous punishment, in 1400, the Council of Constance sat and judged the dead man, and they exhumed his body and burnt the remains because they wanted to show the whole world that it doesn't matter whether he is alive or dead, the law will still work on him. At what level does a man get to even want to burn the bones of the remains of a human being? How much wrath or anger? What were they dealing with? What was disturbing their spirits against John Wycliffe? Simple doctrine, justification through faith. His student John Hus comes through, encounters the works of John Wycliffe. He understands justification through faith. And then he started speaking the very message of John Wycliffe. They invite him in a small meeting as of to talk to this wonderful Czech theologian. Tell us, indulge us, why are you teaching this thing? Humbly they bring him in. The moment he was done finished, the very people judge him and take him out for the whole world to see, and they burnt him to stake. That man was not burnt because he was caught with a woman in adultery. That man was not burnt because he stole church money. He was not burnt because he killed somebody. He was burnt because he preached a simple doctrine, justification through faith. Martin Luther later on comes, picks what killed John Hus, picks what killed John Wycliffe, goes on the Wittenberg Church, the 95-page thesis is nailed on the door. What is the title? Justification through faith. They start looking for him. It was a man called Frederick the Wise, who literally had to hire men to kidnap, because Martin was not ready to move. He hired men to kidnap him, and they kidnapped him as they would kidnap anybody, and then they hid him somewhere in the Wartburg Castle. That's the only reason why his life was preserved. How many martyrs have been murdered because they are teaching justification through faith? Ask me. I've paid that price in my nation. I know more than you could ever think. I have met all manner of wickedness, not from Muslims, not from devil worshippers, not from non-believers, from our spirit-filled, tongue-speaking believers. So now, if you have been cut by that knife, when a man is trying to bring the balance, you're already putting your guards up because you do not know whether he is attacking you because he assumes your extreme grace, or that you're teaching grace which he does not understand. But again, I want my grace person to understand that there is a question. If we are teaching grace, but our generation cannot live better than the fathers who only knew the law, but again, I'm doing it with a fear of not taking them back into the bondage of producing priests with infirmity. But then as I'm drawing them out, I want this balance for them to understand grace. And even though I'm teaching it, there's somebody who will get it extreme or even teach it extreme. And there's somebody in the middle here who does not want to know who is teaching it right or who isn't. Because there's a seed of envy. The fruit of the Spirit is not yet defined, even to intercede and pray for the man who is trying to bring that balance, or at least to know that there is one who is extreme, but he's extreme because he has not gotten the understanding yet. And the wisdom here is to intercede for him, or get the Priscilla and Aquilas to put this man on the side and correct him and tell him, much as you're preaching the right doctrine, this is the way. So we have the war within us already, and somehow we think that in that coagulation, God is going to intervene and give us revival. That would mean only that we are not ready to handle what God wants to give us. Because in the end time, the move of the Spirit must reconcile the Word and the Spirit.